Okay. Can you hear anything now? Test, 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, I'm not concentrating on flying the plane. Can you let me know if you can hear that? Okay, we're way too high, bringing it back down to 1,000 feet. And we're way off course already. Please let us know if you can hear that. No audio. Okay, thanks Steve for letting us know. Yeah, I really need to get somebody in to have a look at this. Can you see the video stream, Steve, if you can? Let me try and get the audio working. Test, 1, 2, 3. Test, 1, 2, 3. Everything seems okay from my side with the audio. It's going to level off at about 1,000 feet. Let's have a nice enjoy the terrain. This beautiful area. Totally hand flying this. It's oh, that's a pity. Sorry, the head tracker isn't working. I do like looking out the windows to the side. Oops. Oh no, that's interesting. That one is working. And that one isn't. Okay. Okay, we do have traffic ahead of us. I'll be very respectful of visual separation. Just flown overhead. Okay. All right, we're at 400 feet now. I'm just enjoying the terrain. This is a test stream. If you just joined us, appreciate you coming into the stream. Just going to trim the plane a little bit. Weather is from the south still at 5 knots, so alright. Totally hands off. I'm just going to have a quick look and see if I can sort out this audio issue. We're in a slight descent, so let me just apply a bit more power. level us off. There we go. Oh, no, too high, too high. Hopefully she'll stabilise in a minute. Ah, perfect audio on Twitch TV, still nothing on YouTube. That's interesting. Thanks, Steve, for the update. Let's have a look. I'm probably not going to be able to spot what the problem is, but I'll give it a go. Let's have a look. Why isn't it going out on YouTube when it is on Twitch? Okay. So have a look at the settings. Audio. Oh. Ah, seems to be working now. Okay. Thanks, Steve, because you really got my head scratching, my head hurting there. A bit of a headache trying to figure out what's going wrong. Appreciate the update. Seems to be working now. That's great. Okay. So, how do all the audio levels sound in terms of the audio from the flight sim and my voice? Okay. Right. So I'm making some mental notes. I want to get the head tracking working. I'm going to double check all the audio and that's after this. And it is a bit of an impromptu flight. I didn't put this together very quickly and very well in terms of preparation. So, as you saw earlier, I had no fuel in the plane. So, okay, audio levels are great. Voice sounds fine. Thanks very much. In real life, my voice, well, I'm no celebrity, that's for sure. So, lip sync is a bit dodgy, but that could be my PC. Well, could be me. Could be my real life lip sync. Who knows? All right, so we still off on course? No, we're slightly off course. So let's bring us back on track. This is beautiful. Okay, so we are now crossing over the Welsh border. Okay, temperatures and pressures are looking good. Revs are a bit low, but I'm only on half throttle. And she's cruising along nicely at 100 knots. Wind has changed direction slightly. It's coming from 200 degrees at 6 knots, so I'll be mindful of that. Kind of hitting us from the left-hand side a little bit. Bit of a crosswind. That's why it's... No. I'm not going to use the excuse that's what put me off course. What put me off course was I wasn't paying attention to what the plane was doing. So, totally my fault. Totally pilot error. Temperatures and pressures are all in the green. That's good. So, let's see if I can experience any ridge lift over these earthworks ahead. Temperature is... Trying to look at the thermometer there. It's about 15 Celsius. Okay. Just bring ourselves back on track a bit to the left. We're going to hit the southern entrance to the Mach Loop. It's been many years since I actually flown the Mach Loop in the simulator, so I'm probably going to go way off course. Okay. Ah, right. Yeah, just looking at my mapping. So we're flying over Church Stretton. That must be the Long Mynd. Beautiful walking country. Yeah, that turbulence there, that is definitely ridge lift. I can feel it upsetting the plane's stability there. Oops, my bad. And that actually puts into a bit of a stall situation. I was not monitoring my airspeed. So down to our left there, that must be Church Stretton. Really nice. Really nice place to go for a walk. Okay. So Steve has said it's Facebook that had really bad lip sync, Twitch is working perfectly, and graphics are way better than Facebook. Twitch is way better for lip sync and graphic quality. Thanks for that feedback, Steve. That's really appreciated. One of the things I've got to do is do some post-stream editing, and obviously I can review what's happening. Obviously I won't see the live stream going to Twitch, because I don't think it actually saves the files. Sorry, not Facebook, I mean YouTube. Ah, okay, YouTube. Okay. I'll definitely look into that. Could be my side. I will check all the settings. But they're quite standardised over the 3 platforms that I stream on: Twitch, YouTube. Facebook won't allow me to stream at the moment. I need 100 followers. So Twitch is awesome. Okay. I have watched a lot of other streamers on Twitch. I'm really impressed with the platform. I only came about it a couple of months ago. So it seems to be really good for gamers. Okay, we've headed off course a little bit. Just bringing it back round to the right. This is a VFR flight, so I'm not going to chase the magenta line too much. Okay. And as my pilot name suggests, I do like getting lost. You get to explore and find some really good places. Obviously, getting lost when you've got passengers on board or a schedule to keep isn't good. But then again, you know, this is Bermuda. It's what I do. So life's too much chaos in life to not have a bit of fun. Go get lost and explore. And I have got pretty much a full tank of gas. That reminds me, I will need to switch the tanks from right to left. That won't help the balance of the plane if I forget to do that. I definitely don't want to turn the plane upside down on landing. I'll never live it down. Especially after I made sure only after trying to start the plane with no fuel in it, to put fuel in it. Okay, let's switch the tanks over. There we go. I'll do it every 4 gallons. I'll switch. Okay. So, we're approaching the Welsh coast, and then we're going to turn sharp right and head into the Mach Loop. I wonder if we'll see anybody else in there today. Such a gorgeous day for flying. I'd be very surprised if there wasn't anybody else. I'll keep a real keen eye out for any fast jets. I don't want to get buzzed by a military plane. That wouldn't go down very well, would it? I've climbed a bit too high. I really am not doing very well today in terms of piloting skills. I'm 1,000 feet over what I wanted, and I've been off course a couple of times. Let's try and get this back. Alright. Okay. Thanks, Steve, for the update. Your closing YouTube graphics aren't great and the audio is annoying. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. The thing with YouTube is they should save the file for me so I can view it as a independent viewer and then see what's going on. We appreciate the feedback there, Steve. That's the only way I'll get this the technical aspect of the live stream in better shape, is from feedback like that. Really appreciate. The audio quality is fine, just the lip sync is way off. That's interesting. From my side, I've got full fibre broadband, so and like I said, the Twitch is awesome, so it must be something YouTube is doing. I'm not going to blame them for that, obviously. Don't want to go blaming YouTube. It's the last thing I want to do. I appreciate them letting me on their platform to stream. But I'll definitely look into that. Lip sync, okay. Interesting. I'll definitely check that out. Oh. Now you see, back down here at below 1,000 feet, we're definitely experiencing some ridge lift here. Wind is from 203 degrees at 6 knots. Definitely some good thermals. And Church Stretton, actually, there is a gliding club on the top of the hill, so that's definitely helped by the landscape here. Let me see if I can zoom and see the sea. Oh. Not yet. Oh, bit of spatial awareness there. Okay. Alright. So Valley is 64 miles away to the northwest. So we'll have a nice play in the Mach Loop, maybe do 2 circuits if we've got time. Got plenty of fuel, so I wonder what the record is for doing a proper circuit at the Mach Loop. Obviously that's all plane dependent, but I'm sure probably the record probably is a surprise plane, probably small, nimble, powerful engine. I know the RAF the Red Arrows team do train there in there. I think they fly Hunters. So please don't take me on as an authority on aviation. If I do say something that's totally wrong, yeah, please correct me. Okay, am I seeing cars down there driving along the riverbed? Or maybe I'm hallucinating. Oh no, that's right, watching my altitude. I don't want to get too high. The whole fun of this is to follow the terrain a little bit. Obviously I want to be respectful of noise pollution. But I don't think you live in this part of the world if you're not a fan of planes flying around, that's for sure. I'd happily live here. If I had enough land, I'd put a grass airstrip in, people could come and land. 50 pence for a nice cup of homemade lemonade. Nice little business. Right. Okay. Definitely feel a little buffeting from what I'm assuming is ridge lift off this undulating terrain. Again, please like, subscribe, share this video if you're able to support the channel. One thing I forgot to do was bring a glass of water with me, so you'll have to excuse the dry cough. Maybe I'll change the title to this stream as this is not what to do if you rush a live stream. Hey, it only took me 3 attempts to start the plane, I think, before I realised I had no fuel in it. Okay, oh, we need to go a little bit off course here. Just so beautiful flying around this area of the country. Okay. Alright. We're getting very close to the coastline now, and the start of the Mach Loop from the southern entrance. So just looking at this, some quick mental arithmetic. You know, I'm going to fly down this little bit here. Oh, look at the way the sun, the shadows change. Beautiful. Reminds me of that clip in Indiana Jones when he's on the airship and he's reading the paper and he notices the shadows from his glass on the table start turning. He notices the airship is turning around based on the shadows, and he realises, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Okay, right, we do need to turn to the right in a minute, but let's follow this contour around. Bring the power back a bit, just want to descend as low as I dare. Just have a look at some of these buildings. Beautiful properties. Look at that one there with the protected there by that elevated bit of land. Beautiful. If you've not flown this this mod to the Cessna 172, the Reims Rocket, I well recommend getting it. It's all free, and if I remember, I'll put a link in the description if it's not already there. 210 horsepower engine modification. It's really is nice. Really is nice. Okay, let's. What we'll do, we'll stay to the left of these hills in front. And then as we start to see the coast, then we will turn up north. And actually, the entrance to the Mach Loop isn't that far away. And the reason why I chose this plane was I know it's really manoeuvrable and responsive engine, so it'll get me out of trouble, is what I'm trying to tell you. It will get me out of trouble. It's a very forgiving plane. Yeah, plenty of warning before it goes into a stall. So if you do stall this plane, you should have had plenty of warning that it was going to do it. This is beautiful. Look at the weather. And this is really what it's like. I've got real weather settings on. This is perfect. Alright. Alright, we're at 400 feet. If anybody is down there walking their dog, I'm ever so sorry if it is too noisy and I'm disturbing your solitude on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. I could probably see people waving from 400 feet. Yeah, easily. So, wave up and I'll wave down. Okay. So just up there at my 2 o'clock, that looks like a nice little valley. Let's follow that down. It's a nice feature in the landscape, shall we say. Let's just check our barometric pressure settings. Ah, okay. Did you notice that? My altimeter jumped from 400 feet to 700 feet. Okay. So that was pretty poor performance on my behalf not to check the local pressure settings. Again, not a real life pilot, so that just shows my lack of technical flying skills. I am going to try and travel down this valley here. Let's have a look. I'm assuming at this sort of altitude I do not want to be messing with the mixture settings. It's fully rich. Don't really think I should lean it out. I think I'm going to get some real life pilots who are flight simmers to come in as guests one day and fly a route like this and show us how it should be done and what we should be doing to the plane. Okay, so 700 feet above sea level. Don't know what technically my radar altimeter would be. I'm probably only 200 feet above the ground, so there's not much room for manoeuvre if I do have an issue. I suppose real world pilots would be looking for landing places wherever they present themselves, just in case there was a problem. I mean, if you look at that, the hills around me are higher, so I don't have much room to manoeuvre if suddenly my engine malfunctions. So okay, so we do need to head up to the right in a bit, but I'm going to carry on following this down, mindful of that we are south of the entrance, which is where we want to be, to be honest. Okay, so I will turn left here. As long as we keep heading west and don't turn south, we're going to be fine. Okay, let's just follow this down. A bit more power. I don't want to get too low. Okay, I'm going to obviously have to climb here. Just to show you the performance of this plane, let me give it a bit more juice. So you can see we're 1,000 feet per minute. Airspeed, I'm just watching that doesn't drop. Okay. Yeah. Just bringing it back down there. Let's come down here. Oh, it's a delivery driver by the looks of it. Going to a farm. Maybe they bought a DVD to watch tonight on the old goggle box. Okay, watching my speed. Descent. What a beautiful lake. Maybe that's a glacial lake, I think. Okay. That's me trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about. I failed geography at school. I failed abysmally. I don't mind telling you that. No. And yet I loved it. I loved, you know, volcanoes and different rock types. Kind of did a lot of social geography though, talking about population density and that, and I didn't really enjoy that. That really wasn't what floated my boat, as they say. Oh, and look what I'm doing. I'm going south, aren't I? Yeah. Definitely geography isn't my strong point. Hence my name, Bermuda. Okay. So this 172 fly happily at 100 knots, day in, day out. Proper workhorse. 1,500 feet. Well, that looks interesting over there. Is that a quarry or something? We can afford to turn north a little bit. Let's have a look over this ridge. Shall I come down from there? I know this plane isn't really designed for aerobatics, but I want to follow this valley round. Let's have a look. Don't want to make you uh-oh. No. That wasn't very clever of me, was it? You'd hear the plane, if you can hear what I can hear, the plane was protesting a little bit there. That definitely wasn't a very clever manoeuvre. Okay, worth it though. Not a quarry, just another small valley. Right, I do need to turn north, kind of go northwest a little bit. Otherwise I'm going to run out of time. Don't do that. I don't want to be somebody who gets a nickname for getting lost and running out of time. Just get so engrossed and enjoying where I'm at, I tend to think, you know what, we'll get to where we need to be when we want to be there. It'll happen. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to turn. I'm mindful of, that's quite a steep hill there. I'll just pull back slightly. Let's get over this ridge. Let's see what view we get from the other side. Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it? Look at that. Not a convenience store in sight. Can't see any cars. Beautiful. I don't mind being totally isolated once in a while. Puts things into perspective, doesn't it? What a view! What a view is coming into shot there. I'd expect to see a couple of dog walkers up here, or a small group enjoying the rambling, but maybe it's too late in the afternoon. Ooh. What's that down there? That's nice, isn't it? Okay, let's just bring the nose down a little bit now. Don't want to hear that stall warning any more today. Okay. Alright, so... Okay, so now you can see two blue things in the distance. The sky and the sea. So what we're going to do is we're definitely... Sorry, let me just pitch trim this nose down a little bit. Just make her a bit more stable. There we go. Right, watching my speed. I don't want to go too fast because we've got a tight turn coming up in a bit. So, let's refresh my memory on the Mach Loop. So we've got like an estuary that we're going to hit, which is the entrance to the Mach Loop. So I'm just going to head straight and level now. A little bit of cloud. It's interesting. Let's get beneath that. It just might look, wouldn't it, to go into the Mach Loop and there'd be low visibility and fog. I know the weather here can change rapidly, so I'm well prepared for that. There we go. It's beneath the cloud level. Where was I? Oh yes, I need to swap fuel tanks. There we go. Switching over to the right. Try and balance the plane out. Although funnily enough I was hands off then and the plane didn't dip a wing, so hopefully the centre of gravity is pretty good where it should be. Alright. A bit of turbulence there. So the wind slightly changed direction there. It's coming from southwest to 10 degrees at 7 knots. And as you can see there to my left, perfect placement of a wind farm to capture all that wind. That's a good marker, isn't it, actually? When you get to the wind farm, turn right, head up the coast. Can't mistake that wind farm, can you? Well, I probably could, but that's a different story. I don't want to put me down too much. I don't want to put myself down too much. I don't get lost too often. When I do, it's normally because I'm distracted by something. Okay, so just there to our 2 o'clock is the body of water that signifies the entrance to the Mach Loop. So just come out a little bit more to the coast and then we'll do a sharp right hand turn. Hopefully I can take you around the official Mach Loop rather than Bermuda's unofficial Mach Loop, which ends up in a totally different county. I'm not gonna put my money on it. Alright. This is nice. 1,000 feet. Just check my barometric pressure. Yeah, it's all good. Right. Just slow it down to about 100 knots for the turn. Watching my altitude doesn't drop too much. So, what altitude should I fly the Mach Loop at? Oh, good question in my head to myself. I think the military pilots probably are doing 200 feet. Why don't we try that? See if I can stay 200 feet. But obviously I have no radar altimeter in this plane, but I'll try and judge it by eye. I'm sure anybody watching this will go, I could do it much lower than that. Okay. I like challenges. Please join me in the sim and I'll fly with you and try and match your a challenging altitude. Okay. Ah, Borth, okay. Been there. Nice little beach area. Didn't know that was here. Is that where it... Okay. Wow. When you reach Borth, turn right and you're in the entrance to the Mach Loop. Fascinating. Alright, let's follow the coast. Oh, what's the weather deciding to do? Getting better or worse? I'm just going to trim the nose up a little bit. There we go. Don't like the look of that grey cloud up there. Alright, let's follow the land around. Okay, so it says I'm about 150 feet on the altimeter at sea level. Well, that is the sea, so I'm taking that as being true and accurate. Barometric pressure was set, so 100 feet. What a daredevil I am. Alright, I'm mindful of my altitude. Seeing such a massive body of water here, you think you're 100 feet, next thing you know you're skimming the water with your wheels. I don't want to be doing that. Definitely not. Oh, what a beautiful experience. This is... I can't say as I've ever done this in a general aviation plane, to be honest. This is really nice. Part of me is thinking in the back of my head, at any moment now, an F-18 or a Red Arrows trainer is going to come flying past me, and I'm going to spill me coffee, if I had one, of course. Oh, this is just what the doctor ordered. Go and fly your plane around the Mach Loop. That'll make you feel better, and it is. Not that I wasn't needing that today anyway. I've deliberately said to myself, don't go on the computer too much. You'll get yourself a headache. Alright, 80 knots, 100 and a bit feet above the water. Awesome. Let us know in the chat if you've ever been to the Mach Loop in person, driven around the beautiful roads around Wales, and if you've seen any of the variety of aircraft that you'll see. I've seen several Chinooks. Never been so lucky as to see some of the big military jets that fly the Mach Loop. Okay, now I've got to be careful here. Right. We need to... directly ahead of me there. I keep wanting to go left roughly at my 10 o'clock. If you see that, what looks like that expanse of open area, but it isn't. That's not the entrance to the Mach Loop. If my mapping is correct, that what looks like the start of a valley, that is the Mach Loop. Okay, just mindful of my speed and altitude here. 100 feet, 80 knots. Definitely don't want to catch my plane on a tall tree, that's for sure. Okay, am I going the right way? No, I'm not. No, I'm not going the right way. Sorry. You know what? It is that bit of opening there. See, I nearly got you lost. Okay. It's so easy to get disorientated. So apologies. This was the entrance to the Mach Loop. I nearly took you down the wrong valley there. Okay. Rookie mistake. Okay, let's turn here. So there should be a river there. Yes, there is. Okay, sharp turn. I don't want to go over 100 knots. That'll stress the airframe too much, I think, with some of the tight turns that I'm probably going to be doing. Okay, so left. This is... I'm going to be totally honest, this is for me, even in a general aviation plane at 80 knots, this is tough. Okay. Alright, so we've got a right turn up ahead. My eyes are having to be everywhere. I'm looking at my six-pack of instruments here, my speed, altitude. Not too bothered about my heading or my HSI. Okay, so we need to come over, follow the river basically for a little bit. So I'm a bit over to the right. Let's come back. Here we go. That's better. So we're going to get a sharp turn to the right in a minute as this river meanders through the valley. You know what, if I'd have passed geography, I'd have probably worked that out for myself, wouldn't I? You know, river flows at the lowest point. If you're in a valley, just follow the river. Oh. I'm sure my geography teacher is sat in some pub somewhere telling his drinking buddies about this kid he had in school who was definitely going to flunk his exam. Knew his rocks, but didn't know the population density of Brazil. Okay, let's follow this down. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, 150 feet, just a little shy of 100 knots. I'm happy with that for this first attempt. Okay, now I've got to be careful here. Yeah, we're following the river, that's good. Just watching the speed. Alright, we got a left turn, we're coming round to the left here. Oh, this feels exciting, I'm in the Mach Loop. It looks like I'm on my own, even better. No, that's not true. Not even better. I like flying in a group. You know, I'm going to keep running this this flight. So hopefully we'll get more and more people coming and enjoying this wonderful part of the world. Being respectful to the residents and the animals and the environment as much as we can. Okay. Now, again, following the river as it meanders up to the left. There it is. If I keep that to my left, then I should make things easier for myself. There's some traffic down there. Sorry, my head tracker isn't working. I was looking at the traffic as I was flying by. Okay. Mindful of those low electricity pylons. definitely don't want to get into trouble with the electricity board for damaging them. At 100 knots this is really peaceful. I think doing it at 400 knots, which is I think easily what the military do it at, and then make it look so easy, for me that would be, well, I'd be sweating buckets. I won't lie to you. Oops, I've kind of gone slightly off with the river there. I am mindful that we are in a left-hand circuit of the Mach Loop. It's a wind farm up to our right. Perfect placement. You can see the road down there with the traffic. That is, what is that? That's the FR-172. What a view you'd have down there if military jets were flying the Mach Loop and you just happened to be in the right place at the right time. How good would that be? I don't think they even bat an eyelid at a small general aviation plane flying over, especially one piloted by somebody like me, zigzagging all over the place. Probably thinking we need to get away from that plane as quick as possible. Okay, so we've got a slight right turn to the right here. Gearing up for a 30-40 degree turn to the left. Let's hold on to this a little bit longer. At that building I'll turn. Pretty much following the road actually. Okay, turn. Beautiful. If you fly ahead of this plane, it's just so nice to fly. So nice to fly. Okay, another left turn in a minute. Right, look at this. This terrain starts to get really, really exciting. Not that it hasn't been already, but you've got to be very decisive what you're going to do. All right. So we've got a sharp turn down this left valley in a minute. In a second or two. Okay. Actually, the road is still there beneath us, so. Okay, left turn. And there you can see the road meandering next to the river. That's impressive, isn't it? Being beneath the tops of these hills. Okay. Right, we've got a left turn. Let's start to make that turn now. Nice and graceful. Okay. Oh, okay, this gets interesting. No, I've gone the wrong way. Okay, okay, not a drama, so I'm going to try and do a real tight turn here. Got the altitude on my side. Okay, mindful of my climb rate. Definitely don't want to stall it. Just bring the power back down a little bit. Okay. My bad. My bad. Okay. So, okay, according to the mapping, I was going in the right direction, but I thought the last minute I wasn't. I kind of gave myself that that seed of doubt that I was getting into a bit of a where am I going moment. Let's try that again. Okay. So I do need to keep turning, keep turning. Okay, so it is this valley, so I think I was turning left there to my 10 o'clock now, and I needed to stay to the right. Okay, that was the problem. Okay, watching my speed and altitude. Okay. Yeah. Easy mistake to make. It's so easy to lose your bearings. You're trying to monitor all your instruments, listen to what your plane is telling you as well. So you're kind of using pretty much all your senses in a way. Well, the main two, you know, your hearing and your vision. When they start giving you data that you kind of question, that's when all of a sudden you try and react. And sometimes take the wrong action. Okay. So like here is a prime example. So it's telling me I'm going to slight turn to the right. But if you look, that valley to the right looks a bit too much of a tight turn. But it's definitely the one I want because I've got to follow the road. So there you go. My instincts were telling me to turn left and follow that round to the left, but it wasn't. It was the wrong. That would have been the wrong decision. I need to power up a little bit in the climb. And we do have a sharp-ish turn to the left once we get out of this. Right, I was a little bit naughty with that bit. I got my plane way too slow and I asked a lot of her in the climb. That could have been quite messy. And I didn't have any room to manoeuvre. I couldn't turn. Okay, left turn here. Follow the road. So that was really naughty of me to let my plane get into that situation. Nowhere to manoeuvre, and I was dropping speed as I was trying to keep the nose pointing upwards. Okay. Oh well, this is a good benchmark for me to improve my Mach Loop performance. Okay, let's bring it down a little bit. It's a bit high. Right, left turn. Right, the road does fork to the left and right here, so we're going to take the left fork, as you can see there with the traffic. It's a really nice visual reference point, isn't it? When you see traffic, unless obviously it's one of your mates in an off-roader, you pretty much can assume there's a road there. And there it is. What is that? The A487. Right. Hello A487. Good to meet you. I'm going to follow you for a little bit. So I don't want to scare the families and delivery drivers down there. We're getting too close to them. Okay. Now this is really nice. Look at this. With that sky in the background. Nice. Right, I'm mindful that I'm climbing a little bit here. So I'm going to bring the power up. And this should bend round to the right, which, from the looks of the train, confirms that. I'm definitely looking that I can see a way out the other side, otherwise... There we go. Let's drop the power a little bit. Don't want to climb too much. Okay. I'll try and hug the terrain as much as safely possible and what I'm comfortable with. When I fly with my sim buddies, it's so easy when you're in a group to get that kind of competitive edge, and yeah, I'm not very good at that in terms of getting myself out of situations where I've probably gone a bit too fast or a bit too slow, a bit too high, a bit too low into a manoeuvre, and it can end up getting quite messy. Right. Most of my flying looks very untidy at the best of times, so at the worst of times it's yeah, let's just say I've got lots of outtake video that I can probably put up one day to show you just how bad my flying can get. I do like to have that nice blend of fun and realism, so occasionally that goes out the window, that nice balance. Look at this is beautiful body of water here in the valley. That's a really nice reference point if you're a regular flyer of the Mach Loop. Doesn't get any better than that, does it, to know that you're on course when you're flying down the middle of a small lake like this. And I think this is Tallyclin, is it? I could be wrong. Yes, I am wrong. Okay. Let's just bring her over a little bit to the left, get a bit more into the kind of the lowest point of the valley. Oh, this is beautiful scenery. So we took off from RAF COSFORD, which is in the Midlands, not far from Birmingham. So, you know, you can hop in your plane and in half an hour, 45 minutes, you could be entering the Mach Loop in Wales. How good is that? I do fly helicopters as well. I'd love to fly this in a helicopter. I think that would be amazing in the H145 Airbus. Yeah, it's the fact that you can slow down and hover, and obviously fly, 20, 30 knots. Really appreciate the beauty of the landscape. Obviously, I'll be flying off the flight path of the big jets. They wouldn't be too happy. Okay, we're going to turn to the right here. So we take this left valley and then we've got a slight deviation to the right. No, hold on. I thought I'd taken the wrong choice again. Oh, this is starting to mess with my head, this is. I'm starting to doubt myself. We're okay. We're okay. Yeah. That's it. Again, we're following the road. It's nice, isn't it? The Mach Loop, you're either following a road or a river as a kind of a good navigational aid. Obviously, can get yourself into a false sense of security. You see a river and think that's the one I want, or that's the road I want to follow. It could be totally the different road or river that you should be following. You got to hand it to our aviators who flew pre-digital, you know, using landscape features or obviously the stars at night for navigation. You've got to hand it to them. That is impressive, all while trying to manage a mechanical lump of metal and fabric and cables and fuel. Well, impressive. Okay, so we follow this round to the right. Oops, sorry about that. I was trying to be clever and just having a look in the distance to see if I could see the coast. And actually, there we are. That is the Mach Loop. So at 100 knots, it's very graceful, very pleasant to fly. Obviously not adrenaline inducing, although a couple of times I did get slightly lost my bearings. So I think I'm going to make this a regular feature, actually, to fly the Mach Loop and take off from COSFORD or another feature airbase, you know, or airport. And obviously, you know, increase the size, power, and performance of the aircraft, just to see how it all handles, and obviously as the pilot as well, whether I'm capable of doing that. Alright, so we're heading out towards the coastline here, and then we're going to head up to RAF Valley, identify Echo Golf Oscar Victor, and we will land. And I'm going to go and get myself a drink of water. If you're still here and watching, thank you very much indeed. Really appreciate that. As always, welcome and appreciate any comments, and I'll always try and reply to any sensible comments, and occasionally I'll reply to any non-sensible comments. So just nice to know there's somebody out there watching. And if you are a simmer yourself and you want to come fly with me, please do. I'll try and give a bit more notice next time. I'm still building up my kind of social media presence, so I'm really bad at having a strategy and just kind of putting notice out there about flights. I will try and do it. I've got a website that I want to build as well, which will obviously help to some degree. Things like Discord channel and other platforms will come as well. So please bear with me. And hopefully if you do join me, you know, in months and years to come, you can reminisce with me about how bad my flying was in the early days. Okay. Right, so we head out to sea just a little bit, and then we're going to... Well, you know what? No, let's follow the coast. Oops, being a bit aggressive with my airframe here. Let's enjoy the scenery for a little bit before I turn. Yeah, we can follow this coast around. We can cut a couple of corners short. I think we've still got a few minutes to spare. Where was I? Yeah, social media platforms. Obviously, putting notices out there about flights. That's all on the agenda. This is really a test stream just to see how the live stream was performing, and Steve kindly gave a lot of input on some issues that were showing themselves. Hopefully once I've ironed all those out and those are stable, I can start focusing on getting some content and hopefully attracting people to come and fly with me. Oh, floating car there. That's yeah, I've got to get this head tracker working. Okay, so we're just coming around to the beautiful scenic town of Barmouth. I think it's a town. Which is not there to our right, it's just up ahead here. I think that was a place called Taliban we've just flown past. Right, temperatures and pressures are looking good. I have been monitoring them, but I don't want to keep reading those out to you. That's just part of my standard checks as a pilot. Everything looks good. Everything's in the green where it should be. Okay, we will turn left and head more north in a minute. But yeah, I just wanted to show you Barmouth. Great place if you like power kiting and kite flying. Long stretches of beach there. And they do have an international kite festival, which I've been to more than once. Fly the big power kites. Really good. Really good fun. That beautiful beach. Okay, so we're going to follow this around to the left here, past that wind turbine. I wonder if that's there in real life. It's quite a good position for a wind turbine, to be honest. Maybe that powers the whole town. Impressive. Right, so there's Barmouth. Try not to get too close to that wind turbine. I can't believe that's there in real life. I don't remember seeing it the last time I was in Barmouth. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Alright, so we're heading kind of northwest, which is good. What I'll do is we will head straight across the landscape in front of us, and then we'll hit the other coastal area where Valley is situated. What I will do for future flights as well is I'll get my Say Intentions ATC running. Just gives a bit more immersion into the sim. Like I say, today was really a test flight just to get the basic audio levels correct after having spent best part of 2 weeks setting everything up and learning about computer audio routing. Fascinating stuff, but got a bit boring towards the end because I had saturated myself with too many facts and figures, but I think it's better than it was. Okay, so we are going to stay on this course, cross over this bit of water, come out the other side, and then we'll get some beautiful coastline, more coastline of a scenic nature, and then we can head up to Valley, and that'll be about time for me to land, go and stretch my legs and get some water. Next time I'm going to bring a cushion to sit on. This gaming chair is good, but it's not that good. All right. What I'll do is... Oh, what runway is that? Clambeda Airfield. Airport. EGFD. Echo Golf Foxtrot Delta. Interesting. If my back was hurting, I probably would have landed there, to be honest, but I do want to land at Valley. That's kind of associated with the Mach Loop. Okay, what I want to do, let's take her up to about 140 knots. Let me trim for that. Let's see how quick we can get across this water. Okay, 130 knots. Trim the nose as we go. Right, 400 feet. Just check our barometric. Yep, we're all good. 400 feet. Yeah, the nose is going up as we get more power. Obviously, I'll bring her back down. Ease back a little bit. Don't really want to go into the yellow. Let's bring it level. Trim her out a bit better. That's something I really need to master. There we go, I'm hands off there, about 130 knots, although I'm mindful I am in quite a descent. Yeah, I do need to get better at trimming a plane out. Oh, that's quite aggressive, apologies. If I had passengers, they'd probably be reaching for the sick bag, to be honest. A small plane like this, changing its pitch attitude from one to the other. It's definitely a recipe to make yourself feel a bit queasy. Okay. So just going to turn a little bit more towards the north here. Don't want to go too far west. Okay, timing's good. It's pretty much close on that 90-minute mark, so really happy. With how this flight has gone, and definitely I'll be running it again. So if you are watching this on a replay or at some point in the future, don't think that this was a one-off. I will definitely fly this again, and it'd be nice to, you know, see how many people we can get flying the Mach Loop. Mm, 250 feet. Just try and keep it around that. Don't want to get any lower. Let's bring the nose up a little bit. Trying to trim the plane out so she'll be wings level, nose level, but struggling a little bit. Wind is from the south at 7 degrees. It's blown. I've taken myself slightly off course. I need to head really for that land feature just ahead. Actually, I need to come a bit more to the right. Again, like I said earlier, it's so easy to lose your situational awareness. And obviously from my pilot handler Bermuda, that's clearly what I've become quite synonymous with. I end up reaching my destination. Maybe a little later than normal. But, you know, it just is what it is. It is what it is. No matter how good I get at navigation, I think that name will always stick with me, because it only takes a brief distraction, and next thing you know, you're asking yourself the question, where am I? This doesn't look like X, Y or Z. So if you do fly with me in the future and I'm lead, always question, is Bermuda going in the right direction? Does he know where he's going? And especially if I'm radio silent, definitely hit that push to talk button and go, Bermuda, just confirm we're on course, confirm your heading. And definitely, if you know I am going in the wrong direction, please speak up. Okay, excellent. So we're going to cross in between those hills, go down that right down the middle there, thread the needle, and hopefully Valley Air Base will be directly in front of us, and then we can have a little chat about working out which runway to take. Wind is still from the south, 188 knots at, 188 magnetic at 7 knots. This has been a real pleasurable flight. I didn't think I was going to get to fly today, so really enjoyed it. Definitely a little bit of turbulence here. Watching the airspeed, it has dropped a little bit. I'm trying to get that nice combination of airspeed and altitude stability. Wind has still coming from the south, pretty much 192 degrees at 7 knots. But in these small planes, obviously 7 knots from the wrong direction or changing very quickly can upset the plane quite a bit. So I'm very respectful of that. Not too bothered about the outside air temperature, it's been pretty stable. But again, that's another thing to watch out for. I know a lot of planes get into a lot of trouble on takeoff and landing with the density altitude. So okay. Alright, I can see some water ahead, so tells me we're going in the right sort of direction. What we can do Yeah, what I will do, if you don't mind, we're I've got another 10 minutes or so, so we can turn sharp right as we come out of this valley, and we can follow the coastline around up to valley rather than going straight across. I think that should only add another 5-10 minutes on. Just makes it more enjoyable, doesn't it? Alright, start the right turn. Nice and gentle. Hey look, we're following the road again. Oh. Some of these cars really really need to go and get some maintenance on. They're sliding all over the place. Although that floating car, I definitely want one of those. Anybody who lives around this area in real life, I'm so jealous of you. It's such a beautiful part of the country. Yeah, just ease back on the throttle a little bit. Keep her at about 100 knots. Try and keep the road to our right, and so lie down the middle of the coastline in the road. What road is that? The A499, okay. Alright, we'll just jump across this estuary here, carry on following the coastline round, anti-clockwise, to the left, and then we should definitely see signs of activity at Valley Air Base. I'll be very surprised if we get there and there is nothing happening. Very surprised, but hey. Maybe it's just one of those days. Everyone's doing something else. Okay. Alright, so the road's going to go off to the right. We'll follow this round to the left. Even Bermuda can't get that one wrong. Right, watching the speed, it's going a bit low. And there's the lights of the airfield there. No, it's not. That's another airfield there. Mona Air Base. It's been so many years since I've flown around here. I've just totally forgot the landscape. So there's another airbase there. Valley is up to our left at about our 10 o'clock. Yeah, I need to get the air traffic control for the next stream, so I wouldn't have made that rookie mistake. No, sorry, you know what? That isn't Mona Air Base. That's in the distance. This is Echo Golf Charlie Kilo. Down there. Oh, I need to fly a lot more. I'm totally losing the plot. I can't even read a moving map now. That's come to something, isn't it? Sorry, once my data moves out of the way, I'll tell you what that airfield is. Oh, it's Carnarvon. Carnarvon Airport. Echo Golf Charlie Kilo. Beautiful. Had I known that, I would have quickly done a detour and flown you by the castle. Alright, so we won't fly by Mona Air Base, that's up there to the northeast. So turn left and follow this around. We just need to land now, don't we? We need to land. Bermuda's getting lost even on a map. It's getting lost on a map. Okay. Right, so wind is 196 at 6 knots. You know what? I really need to come in from 13 or one of the others. I can come in at 19. Sorry. Yeah. Oh. We'll come in from runway 19. It's a lot smaller than the ILS runway 13 and 31. But we'll circle around for 19. Alright, shut up Bermuda, concentrate on what you're doing. Start making your passengers sick. With all your nose up, nose down. Maybe people pay money for that. Be like a sky roller coaster. I don't think the Civil Aviation Authority would be too impressed with my business plan. So Bermuda, you want to take paying customers in your plane, fly them in erratic aerobatic formations in a plane that's not designed for aerobatics and make them be sick. Okay. So Bermuda, there's a reason why no one currently does that in the United Kingdom. It's because it's not allowed, okay? It's not allowed. And if we catch you doing that, you're going to be in big trouble, aren't you? Yeah, I don't like breaking the law. So, it was a nice thought. It was a nice thought. A nice business venture. But hey. I definitely think it's good that a Civil Aviation Authority representative wasn't flying with me today. I probably would have been sick. Especially me doing tight turns in the Mach Loop. Okay, so there is Valley Air Base to my 10 o'clock, so I'm being respectful that runway 31 approach, we're crossing over. So I'm just going to come round in a left-hand circuit. In a left-hand pattern for runway 19. Now I definitely haven't landed at this runway before. I'll always have taken the easy option of runway 31 or 13 on the ILS approach. Or if I flew the helicopter, well, I would have just landed wherever was safe and convenient to do so, but so this will be interesting. It's not a small runway, it's not going to cause a problem, I just want to make sure I get the right one. If you look at the airport diagram for Valley, there are 1, 2, 3, 3 runways. Kind of a traditional pattern, but I definitely don't want to get the wrong one. Okay. Alright. Tell you one thing for sure, I'd be a terrible crop duster. I'd end up crop dusting my neighbour's field and not mine because I'm not paying attention to where I'm going. So if ever I buy a farm and you're a neighbour and you want your crops dusted for free, well, there you go. Just call Bermuda in. Don't bother crop dusting them yourself. Just wait for me to do it for you for free. Or maybe if you're a good neighbour, you'll do mine for free. Alright. Right, let me just get a little bit of altitude actually. I'll get my flaps and configured landing configuration sorted in a sec. Okay, so just kind of turn in for the downwing leg. Oh gee, this weather, look at it. Alright, I need to get this plane down. I'm only VFR qualified in the sim. Alright. Alright, if that closes anymore, I got a problem. And I definitely don't want to divert to another airfield. You're probably asleep by now already, so... Alright, going to ease back. Still on the downwind leg. I'll turn base in a minute and we'll get the flaps set. Okay, one thing I haven't done, let me just get this trimmed out a bit better. There we go, is I didn't switch fuel tanks. That's naughty of me. Didn't I say earlier that I didn't want to forget to do that because I'd make my plane unstable? Guess what? I forgot to do it. Alright, turning base now, so let's ease back on the throttle. Flaps to 10. And let's turn base. Alright, watching my speed doesn't get too low. Alright, pretty much on final. There we go. Look at that, runway 19. I feel quite proud of that. Short final. I think the deteriorating weather has made me perform a bit better. Well, let's get down on the ground first before we make that statement. Alright, mindful of the pappy lights, they never lie. A little bit high. A little bit high. Yep. Let's watch the speed. Okay. Come on. Be careful. Gee, that was not the prettiest approach. Come on. Be careful. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, that was that could have been better. That could have been better. I'll definitely be checking the linkages on the nose gear and after that. Okay. Silly me, had the fuel pump on that whole journey, so there's me talking about being environmentally friendly. I had the fuel pump on. Okay, let's get to the end of the runway and we'll taxi off. Respectful that there are 2 other active runways potentially in use. Typical, the weather's brightened up a little bit as well. The wind was straight down the runway. That was almost perfect. 201 degrees at 6 knots. So the wind was only 10 degrees off our nose. Very good. Okay, let's turn right here and go over to the general aviation parking. I say general aviation, this is a military base. Alright. Right, clear of the runway. Right, fuel pump off. Taxi lights on, landing lights and strobe off. A blue sky again. I really enjoyed that flight. Really nice. Despite all my shortcomings in piloting skills, navigation skills, aeroplane control and checklist procedure skills. That was really good. Hey, I can only get better, can't I? I can only get better. Okay, follow this round. Right, we're going to cross runway 07. Interestingly, that's got a cross through it. Does that mean it's no longer used? Runway 7 there. Looks alright to me. Oh, that weather is so unpredictable, but it's what it's like in real life in this area. Alright, let's pick a space. Plenty to choose from. Let's take this one here. Parking brake on. Landing gear looks alright. This is a pretty robust plane. I think it just felt worse than it was. I'm assuming that bit is meant to stick out like that. Oops. Maybe I will give the mechanic a quick call and just get him to come and check it out. Him or her. Right. Let's close it down. I see. I should have opened the cowl flaps as well. I really need to read the pilot handbook for this plane. Actually, did you spot my error there? This whole flight. This isn't the 172, it's the 207. Oh, I'm going to go and have a lie down, I think. Right, so how do I do this? Do I turn the fuel off there, or do I pull the mixture? I never know what to do. I'm assuming you turn the fuel off. Let's do that. There we go. Okay, avionics off. Lights off. Okay. Maybe I should have ran to cool down a little bit first. Again, I need to get much better at my airmanship skills. Airpersonship skills, I should say. Okay. That was a great flight. I really enjoyed that. Can we open the door in this? Get some fresh air in. It's nice you can hear the plane call down. Right, I'm going to power down now. It's been an absolute pleasure if you did join me for the flight. And hopefully fly with you again very soon. I'll give a bit more notice and I'll prepare a lot better for the flight, even to the point of knowing which plane I'm actually going to fly. So have a safe weekend and I will catch up with you soon. Namaste.